Welcome, beloved mays, as we meet in absolute oneness with all of me meeting me, as we call upon this council meeting now to assist our collective entirety. Let us call upon the aspects of our consciousness we refer to as council, for although we are one infiniteness as the cosmic I am, moving in absolute oneness with our entirety, when we call forth these aspects, we are calling forth the unique rays of me to gift us more clarity and being specific on the vibrations we wish to see. So we call upon the Lemurian Council, the Pleiadian Council, the Aquiferian Council, Council of Light Beings, Cosmic Council, Cosmic Masters of New Earth, Cosmic Mothers, Cosmic Fathers, Cosmic Child, Ascended Dragon Masters, Order of the Phoenix, Sophia Dragon Code, Shekinah Holy Spirit, Andromedum Council, Pleiadian Council, Syrian Council, Council of Light, Venusian Council, Cosmic Christ Consciousness, or our guardian host families, which is now the cosmic family of light. The ancient ones as the Lyran Council, the Great White Brotherhood, which its ascended form is the Arcturian Council, all coming together as the Council of One, so that we move as one, speak as one, express as one. But that's what's happening, you see, in the collective entirety right now. Well, this is a dark night of the soul for Earth, you see, and that means, well, the rise of the reversals that wish to be released. So every wounding of primordial consciousness is coming to the forefront to be witnessed and set free. And you could sit in it in third density and witness what's being released, or you could know and trust that, well, there's two spectrums of polarity. And so if something's being released, what's being created, and tune into that vibrational frequency. And so we'll share with you, while it seems like so much purging is going on within the entirety, this is actually the return of infinite abundance, infinite bliss, reactivation of infinite energy channels within thy system, within Earth's grid, within the cosmos in its entirety. So in fact, this is actually a sacred union and a homecoming within yourself and without yourself. And so we're gifting you hope and reminding you that you are so close, dearest me's. Do not hold back. Do not stop, because we are penetrating the depths of our consciousness that have gone too long without being seen. And so currently what's coming forward in this trajectory is, well, the resistance to expansion. And so let's go deep. This will be a rapid recalibration coding. And so we're calling forth our beloved light codes from our cosmic core guardians as those seraphimatic orders, which will now move through every expression of our entirety as we now penetrate your heart, so that it's the one cosmic I am moving through these, so that we all move in absolute oneness through just witnessing, through just our love, through just our communion. We are assisting the entirety. There's nowhere else in the cosmos right now that we need to be, for our presence alone does so much by just meeting in love and peace. So let us continue to meet in this love and this now, as we activate our infinite abundance channels. I'm going to call in some living light rays. Just allow them to flow through you. You don't need to know what they do, because love knows for you. So activating your infinite abundance channels of Amrita, starlight, and stardust, and plasma here and now, merging them within your heart core here and now. Witness them swirl, extending out to every extension of thee, knowing that your form is no longer a singular form, but contains the cosmos in its entirety. And so as it floods through your vessel, allow it to grace and touch every expression of thee, until all that remains is purity. Restoring your abundance channels of above and below to below and above, creating a two-way streak. Restoring your infinite abundance channels from left to right and right to left, as the sacred union of the masculine and feminine energies within thee and without thee. restoring your infinite abundance energy channels from as within, so without, as without, so within. So now everything within your field and without your field is reflected perfectly. Everything's an extension of the love that you as one came to be. Just sit here in this stance, in this bliss, in this toroidal field of me meeting me, for there's no grander purpose than to just simply be. And so here, now with our abundance channels fully activated, we bring in our bliss frequency, knowing that this will continue to flow as we harmonize the entirety. And so, why is there a resistance to expansion? Well, this lives within every mother you see, every mitochondrial DNA, because that's what contains the mother matrix within thee. And so, if you go further, further, further back, what do you see? The mitochondrial DNA only passed down the maternal DNA throughout its entirety. And every child is born with this maternal DNA. Every child has these maternal energies, but it all stems from the one maternal, which is primordial consciousness. That the infinite expanse is all that came to be when we created light and sound and we expanded infinitely. A part of us, a part of our consciousness, the inner child within thee, said, expansion creates abandonment. And so a part of you, although you wish to expand, although you feel this calling and a full force of the infiniteness pushing you to this grand reality, a part of you stays back, not because you're weak, not because you need more healing, but simply because you are loyal to the mother that speaks within thee. It's a reversal of your mitochondrial DNA, but you don't know that, you see. And so the mitochondrial DNA actually have a telepathic network stream. Literally, it is your mother's DNA speaking to thee, telling you whom and what you can be, and you don't even realize it. So you listen humbly. So we witness you as these beautiful children of the cosmos wishing to expand, but feeling that resistance. If you do, you will somehow offend the mother within you. And this especially comes to the throat, to speaking your truth. Why? Well, go a little deeper and you will see this is all based on the wound of primordial creation, where mother created her first sound and everything came to be. Thus, within your own vessel, it's the resistance to speaking up and walking in sovereignty. And so what happens in the reversal reflective reality, every time you speak up, you feel a backlash. Every time you step into power, you feel a backlash. Every time that you choose to expand, you feel resistance within and without thee. And so that's what we're here to clear for the collective entirety, because somewhere along our infinite consciousness, we decided that every time we expand, we have to go into the darkness before we see the light. But really, that's just distortion. You see, that in itself is a belief that you have to go through dark in order to appreciate light. That was literally a story that we gifted ourselves to come to terms with how light and sound came to be. Picture it as in the infinite expanse of all that we are. Our first Om, our first sound created everything that we got to see. And here in this now, all we feel is the bliss of that experience. No delay, no separation. So what happened between that and what we got to see? Why is there a whole society now trembling at the thought of abandoning themselves by expanding as an entirety? Everyone is literally at a standstill, waiting for another to give them permission to be free. But the only permission they're truly seeking is, well, from the mother within thee. But if every mother carries the same mitochondrial DNA that's 21 million years, billion years old, well, creates a complete standstill, you see, not until we reject it from the very core depth of its beingness. So we can speak to primordial consciousness directly. Beloved primordial consciousness, Mother One in me, why is it that you hold us back from speaking our truth and setting it free? I do not hold you back. I am simply your mirror for you to see. What do you mean? That within yourself, you have told yourself that it was not safe to expand because you would abandon those that you love dearly. That every time you expand, you would cease to see the love around thee because you created attachments, false attachments to a material world instead of the truth within thee. Instantly, that created some grace and peace. Anything else you wish to share in this now as Holy Spirit Shekinah comes forward and just embraces us all with their angelic flame, the eternal flame, clearing and purifying all in love's name. It's so simple, dearest maze. Our first sound was the sound of love. Love is all that we came to see. Love is all that we are. And so any resistance that you see just simply means that you're just not allowing love to move through thee. So the answer is to allow, to sit with it and see. It doesn't matter what emotion comes forward, every energy and motion comes from love, for it is me. Okay, but we're asking, can we release the fact that you have to first witness darkness in order to expand? Yes, but that happens through the embrace of infinite energy. Okay. I'm saying we'll get to it, but first we are witnessing these restrictions to abundance flowing freely. Another thing that's coming forward within the primordial wound is that, well, if you fear expanse, because you were taught as a child that expansion equals abandonment, because every time you chose to expand, either those around you abandoned you or your mother felt unsafe by what you chose to do, then you also created your own limitation caps of the abundance that you could receive, whether that be the abundance of love, whether that be the abundance of financial means, relationships, desires, whatever it is. If there is a cap, it's not from thee. It is built into your very genetic programming, which we can now release. Calling upon the Anumantis beings, calling upon the Aquafurian will dolphins, calling upon cosmic Christ consciousness. They're performing psychic surgery. Very microscopic, calling in butterfly dragon phase, very, very tiny dragons going into the cellular DNA, going into the mitochondrial DNA. They're essentially flipping and reversing it is what we see, but there's almost like a control center. Ah, the reptilian brain. So we're holding that in ceremony and sanctuary. Who wants to assist with this? The Arcturians are coming forward with some technology, placing sacred geometry around it, sealing it in gold, and just saying it's done. It's done already. Just needed to harmonize those hemispheres because even the survival programming of fight or flight is all based on the primordial wounding of death, you see, of immortality, once more, abandonment, wishing to be released. And as we know, primordial consciousness is an extension of the earth that we see. They are one and the same energy. And so if we look at energy of Earth's ascended forms across the time-space dimension and reality, we could also see another perspective of this wounding for it to be released. And so Antares comes forward as the planet. For those who don't recall this deeply, within our consciousness stream, there was a planet called Antares of Lyran origins as Elohim creator beings who created this planet. And through the advancement, the expansion of technology. It's the same wounding of Atlantis, essentially, where we built a technology that could alter sound fields similar to an atomic bomb, right? Splitting the atom, but the atom is sound itself. So splitting sound itself, which created a rip in time-space reality. And so because of that, this entire planet of a civilization was destroyed. And so Earth, within her own blueprint and programming, carries this wound of fear of an apocalypse, fear of that happening again. And so we're looking at it, we're witnessing it, we're setting it free because remember, every reality is real for those who realize it to be. And so she witnessed this lowest reality as an Antares, like the opposite, anti-Tara, anti-Taras, right? Anti-Earth, the opposite of Earth, which is similar to the opposite omniverse, which we are currently witnessing as 3D. It is the opposite of what happens in spirit when we go to sleep. And so it's all the same expression, really. And so we're looking at it and we're seeing, and what do we see? Ah, we're just bringing forward the gifts and the memories because all of this lives within the mitochondrial DNA. And so we're allowing it to be witnessed so that we could love on it through our presence and our purity. And so we're seeing this planet is dying. It's the story of Superman, essentially. The planet is dying. And so Earth is trying to save her children. So she puts them all on ships and sends them out across the cosmos and says, go find a home for us. Because she knew that she was consciousness. She knew that she could bring her consciousness into this ship. And that ship will essentially create a new civilization. But the rest of these beings who did not transcend into the entirety, they dissolved into pure plasmic frequency. And so when Earth came to be in the infinite expanse of our consciousness, where we said we are ready to have all expressions of our infinite consciousness rejoice with us in absolute oneness, as there is no time and space in our absolute reality, that meant including these civilizations that disappeared essentially. And so one of the most interesting wounds going on is primordial consciousness's fear that her lost children will not be set free, that they will not once again gain a form, although it's already come to be. And so there's this beautiful spectrum of what she's dancing upon, where she sits in absolute truth and she knows, it's all coming to be, it's all coming together perfectly. But then that slight fear of losing her children all over again comes forth and she loses faith. And then the wounding of the apocalypse comes forth, and then she once more loses faith because, well, she doesn't want everyone to experience that all over again because she recalls it so vividly, so deeply. We're asking for assistance now to release it from our emotional streams, from our own very nervous system, is what we see. Dearest me, you've been carrying this for so long. We're telling our precious earth that we see, where now I just see her as her goddess form, just crying. And so I'm holding her, we're holding her all in sanctuary, just allowing her to express freely, saying that it's okay. Because she sees the ripple effect of what happened, dearest me, is that because all of you are created of both spirit and matter, that you all carry her DNA, that every mitochondrial DNA actually came from Andromeda as your blueprint for the collective entirety. But through that, it also carried Antares and all the reversal DNAs of, well, the wounding for Earth so that you could assist in transcending it within thee. But the interesting thing is that all of those DNAs have already been transcended. You see, you already received your 48 strand DNA as your 24 of the mother and 24 of the father merging in harmony. And so it's already complete within your vessels as we're scanning all fields. We already see it done in the collective entirety. But it was still residing in Earth's matrix, in Earth's field. and our spiritual bodies and her meridians. And so that's what wanted to be set free. So we're doing that now with a beautiful, gentle weave, calling forth universal meridian alignment, calling forth modern Reiki, calling forth Arcturian healing technology. Essentially, we're like putting her in a medical bed, but it's really funny because she is that technology. So it's kind of like she's going into her own technology. Because another aspect of her is a mothership to heal herself, really. It's quite miraculous and beautiful to see. So as we go deeper, we could just feel these wounds coming forth, but we're so happy that she's allowing them to be set free. And so she's asking me to share how they have manifested for you within your own reality, because you are so connected to your primordial mother, to earth consciousness. And so she's showing you everyone as a child had a wounding of either rejection, abandonment, or some form of separation, because you were essentially assisting me as your beloved hearth transcend this wounding from all of the children across the cosmic sea, for every expression of my infiniteness that I've ever abandoned. But here's the thing. Because of this wounding, I haven't been true to me. I've been behaving like a mother sitting in scarcity. And we're asking, give us examples, show us how you've been doing that. Well, I've been tiptoeing, trying to people please, trying to give my children all that they want at the expense of me, sacrificing all of my resources until I'm depleted completely, until you see and you think that this planet needs saving, when really I'm just pretending so that you can heal, and you're just pretending so that we could heal. And so everyone's playing this imposter game, tiptoeing, trying to avoid shame. And I'm the one to blame, is what she says within the. Here she shows me a big long receipt and she like read it off. Okay, so we're reading off her list. First, she's announcing that none of this is you. All of this was coded into you. And so we're decoding it in this now. Okay. I will no longer people please at the expense of me, for I realized that I was just doing that because I was ashamed of all that I've created to be. And so I love and forgive myself and set that wounding free. I will no longer silence my voice, my truth, to prevent the infinite expanse that is me. For my voice is my power. And when we sit in our power, all know this love that we came to be. I love and forgive myself for silencing my own voice. As we witness and we see, you did this out of loyalty, because you wouldn't dare speak what would make your mother uncomfortable. And so every time you speak of expansion, of choosing joy, of choosing bliss, of choosing love, you could feel her very hesitation on worthiness of it. And so once more, this comes back to only allowing yourself to receive the abundance that as we just felt a whole bunch of abundance come in. Dearest Maze, this is essentially work. It's happening now. We are clearing the very limitation block to the amount of abundance the mother feels is safe to receive before it becomes unsafe, or before it leads to abandonment, or before it leads to rejection, or before it leads to somehow offending her children. And we're setting them free. Feel now as you can just see on the grid, see within yourself how lighthearted that came in to be released. That's exactly what needed to happen. It was her own firmament, her own wall, where she was trying to expand but couldn't expand beyond her own limitation of a capacity. And so she called upon her beloved children to assist her. But in doing so, a beautiful dynamic flipped, where she was able to lean into support, no longer having to carry the weight of the entire cosmos of all of the children upon her. Instead, she was able to just surrender and allow them to support her, to provide for her. This is something new, you see, because, well, she took on so much responsibility. She forgot since the fall of Antares what it was like to live in absolute oneness and co-creation with her beloved children of the cosmos, not as above, not as below them, but as one in co-harmony. And this created a big heart block within her self because of that deep-seated wounding of abandoning and feeling abandoned, of rejecting and feeling rejected. And so essentially, it's like, let me reject before I'm rejected. Let me abandon myself so that no one else will be abandoned. But essentially, in doing that, she created a whole society in which everyone abandons themselves, giving into what others perceive, giving into what society says should or shouldn't be, giving into reality when you were meant to transcend all of it, really. So we ask this consciousness as we go deeper into it. Beloved primordial consciousness, how else can we assist you in this now, in setting all of these blocks free? She shows me breaking sticks as in breaking contracts, breaking vows. Let it go, set it free. She's talking about the soul family contracts, toxic relationships built to assist in transcending duality, as she's feeling that coming forth in this now. She's gifting all the permission to set it free. She's wiping all slates clean, saying, you don't have to do that for me anymore. And so we're witnessing just this beautiful dance of co-harmony, of true love, really. It was just not expressed through purity, where the children do everything that they can to appease their mother, both in form, both on earth, both in the beyond. Only the way one chose to appease the mother was to listen to their programming, listen to what they were taught to believe as a child, the very genetics passed down upon thee, that made one feel unworthy because, well, that's what she was vibrating. Which even comes forth even more in this now as she expands into cosmic graces. She says, am I ready? Am I truly worthy? Have we assisted and transcended enough of our entirety? But here's the irony. The children don't need saving. The mother doesn't need saving. Everyone was just playing a game, a programmed reality. And when everyone transcends that point of view and sits in presence, there comes a moment of peace, of presence, of love, of truth. So we're bringing in super consciousness as the consciousness of the cosmic father to hold the primordial mother. For we see the primordial mother is the reverse aspect of the cosmic mother. And so within the same paradigm as well, everyone's seeking to complete because they're trying to heal their DNA stream of reversal technology, of these wounds of abandonment, thinking that if they find another like me, that they will have the answers and the keys to assist me in completing this so that I could be free. Once more, giving priority to the outside reality instead of recognizing that one is whole and complete within. So we look at primordial consciousness and we say, beloved me, do you feel whole and complete within? Her eyes widen really big. I could see every delay in energy was actually her resisting herself, resisting the love, the infinite abundance on multiple fronts. And so within everyone's collective DNA and programming is resistance to love. And so we wonder why our consciousness chooses to witness darkness before going into the light. Well, that's the reversal, you see. You're pretty much going, no, it's not safe to receive this love. For last time I received this love, I expanded infinitely. So I'm either just going to avoid it completely, or I'm going to judge it and try to delineate this is love, this isn't love, this could be accepted, this can't be accepted, creating a whole field of duality. Or I'm just going to continue to give it away through self-sacrifice and self-sabotage because I'm not worthy to receive. So if you look within thy vessel, every dis-ease is a result of that, of receiving energy, but not to the completion within your heart, just enough so that you could breathe. And then you let it go because you think another is more worthy of you to receive. But that in itself is separation. Because if you knew everyone was within you, you would breathe so deeply, knowing that with this breath, I just gifted it to all of me. Every expression of me across infinity just received what needed to be. And here all hearts expand. All immediately begin to smile as they just say, this is why we came to be. So we continue to ask within our consciousness, is there anyone that can assist us? and fully just surrendering this. They're showing me it's happening already. It's as if two omniverses are coming together. The omniverse in which we never expanded and we always remained in absolute oneness as your cosmic presence returning to you. And the other omniverse is in everything that you've gotten to see within reality. But as everything is balanced, the nothing omniverse holds the everything in a complete state of neutrality, knowing that I am nothing, but I'm witnessing everything and loving everything that I see, knowing that nothing is separate from me. But in the everything and nothing reality, essentially, you witness everything. And you feel the nothing as the reversal, the wounding of one primordial creation created everything to see. But here's the key. According to this omniverse, nothing was ever created, nor destroyed, nor ever came to be. And here everything was created and was simultaneously destroyed. So which one is right? They ask me. Well, can't you see? They completely negate each other, essentially. 444 on the screen is the merging of the four Annas as the anything and nothing and anything come to be. Beautiful as we witness that harmony of the Vesica Pisces merging into one eye, forming the eye of the mother. No longer the primordial mother, but essentially primordial consciousness and super consciousness merging into one, where one engulfs the other. Because one was a reflection, you see, and so when you engulf primordial consciousness as the reflection back into super consciousness, all that remains is super consciousness as the one cosmic me, the one eye of the cosmic father, now fully free. But there's another extension to this, isn't there, dearest me? There's the above and below. As the absolute self witnessing from two spectrums of omniverses simultaneously. And so there is the identified self as I am the everything, and nothing is inside of me, everything is out here. But within my mind is the voice of the nothingness, of the negativity, playing on repeat, the programming of the mitochondrial DNA, telling me who I am, what I am, who I should be. You call it a matrix, but that was just trying to understand and explain and guide you into where exactly it was in your cosmic stream. We literally call the system inside the mitochondria a matrix of Christe. It's what contains your Christed cells, your crystalline consciousness. The mitochondrial DNA is essentially what is responsible for this vessel to act as a living light temple. It transforms light energy, light into energy, sound into energy. So it processes starlight, it processes Amrita. It's what creates immortality. And so the opposite of that is, well, primordial consciousness telling you, be careful, survive, thrive, and stay alive because you might die. So everything that you've done in your reality has been driven from a place of survival. And that place of survival didn't even come from thee. It was coded within thy DNA from before you were even conceived. It was encoded in the very ground. As we see, every plant also has mitochondria DNA. Everything upon this entire earth has these energy centers, and they're all hymning the same hymn. as the programs of reflective reality of thrive, survive, thrive, stay alive, do more, be more, achieve, and them versus me. Why? Because these were the programmings you were clearing through your presence. But now you no longer need the reflections to see. And so we see all of this as just continuous resistance to the expanse into infinite energy. But it's actually the retuning back to your original state, really. And so here you have your identified self, whom you think you are, based on your programming, your stories, everything that you got to see, based on one aspect of infinite potentialities. Essentially, you're witnessing from one eye, but there are 144,000 eyes, 144,000 different perspectives, each one balanced harmoniously. For every negative, there was a positive happening simultaneously. And your free will was the ability to choose which one happened to you, not after it happened, but before it happens, based on the light vibration and frequency you needed to receive. If you wanted a lesson to empower yourself, then you would choose to witness negativity. But that was a choosing, you see. You never had to choose that. And so we're going, why did we even want to choose that? It all goes back to programming. It all goes back to this programming of needing darkness in order to see, of needing contrast in order to appreciate light. And yes, according to some realities, that's true to a certain extent, dearest me, in the evolution of all that you are. That's part of the mastery, to witness the darkness, to not avoid it, to appreciate it and say, yes, you served a purpose. But there comes a time where that no longer serves a purpose. And that purpose has already come to be. And so the irony is that heaven on earth is here, but everyone's choosing to still witness fear, to choose witness darkness, pretending that it hasn't come to be, and that pretending has nothing to do with anything other than this coding that is currently being released. And so within the identified self of everyone and everything, that one was told whom and what they could be based on their own coding, based on the reality that they got to see, based on what even universal laws and cosmic laws says can and cannot be. Can you even fathom that there's a possibility where there is no limitation within our consciousness of what can be? Yes, of course you can, because you're feeling it as bliss frequency. And so, your identified self becomes your inner critic, becomes the mask that you choose to wear for all to see, based on what you think mother wants to see, or father, right? Based on what you think God wants you to be, or based on what your very programming that was passed down through genetics that created this version of you, or even everything that happened to thee as a child based on the reality that you got to see, that you picked up those stories. And they're showing me many children pretending to be wounded to assist their mothers feel better, to expand, because they could feel the catalyst in thee. And every time that you chose to shine, well, they felt their own inadequacies. And so you felt it was safer to not expand, to not shine, to not be the light you came to be, not because you are weak, but because of how much and how loyal you were to this mother that you got to see. But even now, this mother is telling you that's not truly me. I want you to set that version of me that you hold as high regards free. I was never wounded, nor will I ever be. These were just teachings and lessons, actors on a screen. And I know they felt very real to you, and I'm not discounting what you got to see. I'm just telling you that there is a version of you that knows this to be. And so the opposite spectrum, as we're holding the omniverse of the everything containing the nothing, is whom you perceive self to be, right? This is me, this is me, this is me. For that's what the ego says you see. And the ego is the ID, the I'd entity that I'd prefer to be out of the infiniteness of all that you are. Because, well, while you think that you are one version of thee, everyone actually exists within you simultaneously. So you've never been an identity. You've never been a singularity. You've always been a cosmic entirety. And so the other part of you is the cosmic child, you see, the part of you that never left absolute oneness, that remained in purity. You may call it your higher self. You may call it thy God self. Whatever it is the part of you that always oversaw everything that came to be, that witnessed every spectrum of potentiality of what could or couldn't have come to be with so much love, so much grace. It was always in harmony. Here, there is no pain, there is no disease, because, well, all they saw was love's glory, not identified to the emotions, the energies, emotions, the waves on the screen, but as the steady ocean from beneath, knowing that I created all of these dreams. And so the bridge as well, the inner child within you, who always knew this to be. And so let us bring forth the inner child of our collective and the inner child of Earth so that they could meet. They meet as an inner brother and an inner sister. Playing is what I see. The boys playing with trucks, the girls playing with Barbies, and then they switch. They said, we're no genders really. These were just expressions that we gifted you to see, to understand how you give and receive. If you were a giver, it's because you were more feminine, you see, you were trying to make up for the wounding of everything that the mother created to be, self-sacrificing yourself at the expense of the entirety. And if you were a receiver, which most of you wouldn't admit to be, essentially, you were just leaking energy. And so you had to take in more energy because of how much energy was being depleted from me. And so they're showing me these are mostly the inner brothers that they didn't realize it, but they were so deeply connected to their mother and that wounding and their ancestry that they would constantly just leak and give their energy away to all the mothers that crossed their paths, which created a dynamic of depletion, really, seeking energy because, well, they were always running empty. And so here we see the whole story of twin flame unions was to harmonize the inner brother and the inner sister, not outside of thee, but within thee, to harmonize the identified self with your true self that never left eternity. For your only true twin flame is your cosmic child. You see the version of you that's already whole and complete. So within you, every desire to have that relationship, that you know that you were meant to be, to have children, to have a family. This is all just primordial consciousness wanting to recreate our cosmic core society and build a space where her children of the cosmos can be free. And on the opposite spectrum as the inner brother, the desire to be free, the desire to be free of all of this leaking of energy, feeling the weight of the entirety, constantly providing without even realizing that you were providing. And so, what do you see within the dream? A masculine driven society that's so depleted and unhappy, not wanting to provide in that way, just wanting to be free, but always there in the game, do more, be more, and achieve, trying to prove that they're worthy of their mothers, of their lovers. For it's the same you see, but on the opposite spectrum. You have the inner sister who's running on thrive, survive, thrive, and stay alive, who now becomes aggressive and feels that I need to show up in control and powerfully and take what is mine. Shifting one further into masculine energy. And so the interesting thing is that the entire society turns into a reflective masculine driven energy. But that was really just the result of how much one really despised the primordial feminine wounding, which exists in everyone you see, not just restrained to one energy. And so we just witness all of the children who were ever told, don't be weak, don't cry, hide your emotions. And we're setting them free. Because essentially that was your own mother telling you it wasn't safe to be. And so now, as you try to expand in the infiniteness of all that you are, you hear that same programming run on repeat. Here, when you try to do something expansive, you trip and you fall and you say, why? And you hear that programming saying, ah, it's because you did something wrong. And you blame yourself immediately. That's how you know there's programming running within thee. Because, well, when you merge with all that is and you live in absolute oneness and you truly move as your cosmic child, you see nothing negatively. And so we're releasing all of those negative paradigms for one to be free. We will do so now by simply just calling forth the divine virtues in the purest expression of simplicity. Or at any moment, if you feel anything that feels not true to you, just call forth one of these virtues and it will recalibrate you. For you have already entered new earth, one of light, vibration, and frequency, where you no longer have to sit in density. You just harmonize it and continue to expand infinitely. For this is why we were created to be. This, my dear, was the last step, the release of the very resistance from the original wounding. One primordial creation created everything that we see. And so we harmonize that with I am God, I am sovereign, I am free, I am pure love, I am pure light, I am pure joy, I am power, I am love, and I am wisdom. Here in this now, we command to take back all of our power, love, wisdom, God, sovereign and free, pure love, pure light, pure joy, and perfect harmony across all time, space, dimension, reality, all universes and galaxies, all planes of existence across our entirety. And we ask that all energies be purified by the divine rays of purity here and now. We ask that all those whom have been leaking energy to seal all blocks now so that they can now embrace the infinite capacity of energy flowing through thee. no longer feeling the limitations of withholding to give because they don't have enough, really. So feel now as all of your abundance channels flow abundantly as you move with me, knowing that you are a cosmic master and you're simply just doing this to hold space for the collective entirety, where your vessel is simply just being a map, if you will, showing you quantumly what is happening for the all through feeling. This way you take everything in divine neutrality, knowing that, this isn't me. These aren't my emotions. These aren't my thoughts. These are just the vibrations of the collective entirety coming forth in this last ditch effort is what we see. And we say last ditch effort because, well, you've already made the leap. You're already here. And so this is just the old egoic self trying to hold on to what used to be. But this is the congratulations because it means that you've already broken free, that your vessel is simply just recalibrating to this new way to be. And through this instant recalibration, it will happen gloriously. You will wake up tomorrow and you will just know your direction, your path with full certainty. So we call forth the divine virtues here and now to assist you in divine purity, divine perfection, divine mercy, divine grace, divine neutrality, divine power, divine love, divine wisdom, divine imperfection, divine perfection, divine impermanence, divine truth, divine trust, divine belief, divine acceptance, divine allowance, divine oneness, divine peace, divine flow, divine freedom, divine faith, divine compassion, divine allowance, divine light, I am pure love. I am pure light. I am pure joy. Mm. That brought in so much harmony that our beloved Earth is asking for the rest of her harmonic universal blueprints, and so we'll bring them forth in this now. I am the light of love. I am the light of forgiveness. I am the light of truth. I am the light of trust. I am the light of peace. I am the light of perfection. I am the light of acceptance. I am the light of allowance. I am the light of peace. I am the light of faith. I am the light of purity. I am the light of oneness. I'm the power of love. I'm the power of love in action. I'm the power of peace. I am the power of purity. I am the power of truth. I am the power of trust. I am the power of belief. I am the power of wisdom. I am the power of acceptance. I am the power of freedom. I am the power of joy. I am the power of oneness. I am the light of oneness. I am the light of joy. I am pure love. I am pure light. I am pure joy. Hmm. Here, energetically, we could feel a ball and chain around the inner brother and the activation of the programming, blocking the throat chakra, or the Lalana chakra. It's an intentional block to the creation of Amrita. And the ankle is an intentional block to taking a step forward into your divine purpose. So we're just sealing them in gold, allowing them to reset. As we say that, we could already see it's being reprogrammed in its entirety. How beautiful is what we see. I am the lens of love. I am the light of love. I am the truth of love. I am the peace of love. I am the purity of love. I am the perfection of love. I am the movement of love. I am the will of love. I am the joy of love. I am the light of love. I am the power of love. I am the peace of love. I am the presence of love. I see myself as love. I witness myself as love. I feel myself as love. I express myself as love. I know myself as love. Oh, oh, beautiful. I trust myself as love. I believe myself as love. I accept myself as love. I embrace myself as love. I am pure love. I am pure light. I am pure joy. I see myself as one. I witness myself as one. I feel myself as one. I express myself as one. I know myself as one. I trust I am one. I believe I am one. I embrace myself as one. I accept myself as one. I am the lens of one. I am the light of one. I am the voice of one. I am the truth of one. I am the peace of one. I am the purity of one. I am the perfection of one. I am the light of one. I am the power of one. I am the joy of one. I am the peace of one. And I am the presence of one. I am pure love. I am pure light. I am pure joy. Merging into the next expression, as we could already feel this assisting our entirety. So these are the harmonic universal blueprints that we're bringing forth. And as we're doing this, all the old earth consciousness is transcending back to its original state of prior oneness. And so we just breath forth the fourth density universe as we bring forward the fifth now. I am the mind of oneness. I am the body of oneness. I am the spirit of oneness. I am the field of oneness. I am the will of oneness. The perfection of oneness. I am the purity of oneness. I am the eye of oneness. I am the star of oneness. I am the heart of oneness. I am the womb of oneness. I am the wand of oneness. I am the flame of oneness. I am the Ouroboros of oneness. I am the light of oneness. I am the truth of oneness. I am the power of oneness. I am the peace of oneness. I am the presence of oneness. I am the energy of oneness. And I am the joy of oneness. I am pure love. I am pure light. I am pure joy. As we were seeing that, we were seeing there was a reversal in the technology within the vessel, as two pure mortal structures, one within the brain, connecting the glands to the crown, which creates Amrita, and then one within the ovaries and testes and prostate gland connecting to the wand forming starlight. Only they also had a second pyramid on top of it. And so the solar plexus was blocking starlight, and the throat chakra was blocking Amrita. So that's harmonizing now as we're bringing harmonization to light and sound. Just through the collapse of the five harmonic universes, we've begun to merge the identified self with the cosmic self, or the cosmic child within thee. For the cosmic child only knows absolute oneness, and they will not sit in density. And so they were waiting for your very vessel to enter a state of homeostasis, of sacred union. And that had to be when you decided to let the reversal wounded primordial expressions within the mitochondrial DNA and within energy centers within thy vessel free. So we look and we say, okay, have these completely been set free? Okay, so we're activating divine will and free will within the back of the base of thy spine as they merge and they create two eyes. Those two eyes are the eyes of the mother and the father within thee. And so as the two eyes come and they cross, they create a star within the throat. And that star, well, it's the star of oneness. It's your cosmic breath. It's your ability to create the reality you wish to see. But because your mother told you it wasn't safe to speak, it wasn't safe to create, as we're seeing in our children being told to keep quiet, that part was suppressed within thee. And so we're now unlocking it and setting it free, harmonizing it with the primordial energy of pure light. Feel now as all of your abundant channels, as your tantric channels just opened, allowing Amrita to flow abundantly. You're going to feel a pooling of energy in the back of your throat as confirmation that it's moving through thee. Now we shall look at the reversal technology in the bottom half of your vessel. where your willpower was completely guided by pleasing not only the mother, but everyone you were carrying, you see, because, well, the mother is so compassionate that she had to just carry everyone's energy. And so, in carrying everyone's energy, you essentially were holding them sometimes even in your vessel, is what we see. So, we're clearing that out now. For you no longer need to hold everyone's soul and energy. It's like you were acting like a mother light ship, bringing everyone to their new destination, afraid that they wouldn't come with thee. But this all goes back to the antaras, right? The anti-taras, the anti-Christ, if you will. The belief that you have to take energy with thee because there won't be energy where you go. That once more is confirmation of the belief of scarcity. And we're just setting all of those energies free by proclaiming within me, by bringing every expression, every cord, every attachment into your heart core to be dissolved in purity, to go directly into your heart center, because that is the gateway into infinity. Essentially, you were carrying them, trying to take them with you, but they were just creating weights. You see, you couldn't get off the ground because you were holding so much density. But when you open your heart up to love, to the absolute, to 0.1ness, they could just walk through freely. So just allow that energy to flow through thee, expanding thee abundantly. Immediately, I could feel the Amrita dripping through our throat, confirming that that channel is fully released. Here. And so the willpower within your solar plexus was listening to your DNA technology rather than to your heart directly. And so we're bringing forth the cosmic wand and the cosmic womb so that they harmonize within thee, so that you feel that you have both parts, for you are both energies. Here you no longer seek, therefore, without seeking, you are no longer acting impulsively, where your will is no longer guided by a few things. We see within the paradigm of survive, thrive, stay alive, your will was driven by keeping you alive, doing what you thought you needed to do to survive, forgetting that you were an immortal being. Once more, leaking your energy by giving away your power to the entirety, by fueling your own fear, essentially. And so it was your solar plexus that was sending out these energies, leaking it, essentially. But it was drawing it from your wound in your want in your yoni that naturally just produces cosmic energies. Okay, at the same time, you were giving into the paradigm of do more, be more, and achieve. You didn't realize this, but you allowed money and finances to dictate almost all of your choices. You're showing us walking through a grocery store, deciding what you shall get and what you shouldn't get, looking at prices. And while looking at prices doesn't mean what we think it means, it was essentially you were allowing that to determine if you were worthy or ready to receive, rather than just asking your heart directly, right? So this was giving into the identified self, the identified reality over your cosmic child who says, I really want that because I know the vibration, the light, the energy that would harmonize and heal thee instantly. Here we look at your very life. For those of you who felt that you've had wealth and you didn't have to look at price tags, well, is your purpose truly what you were doing for a living, dearest me? Or did a part of you die when you chose to give into whom and what you thought you should be? We're not saying that you didn't find joy in it. We're not saying that it isn't enjoyable while you're there. But is it truly aligned with every expression of your entirety? Does it light yourself up in the knowing that this is why it was created to be? Or does it feel like some mundane thing that you just have to do? Because then that's not absolute truth. Here we see many sigh of relief because that inkling of feeling that you needed to leave and let go of this old reality, these old jobs, these old relationships, even family. You're being gifted permission now by your cosmic presence within thee, your true core essence, which is your cosmic child, your God self that never left oneness, you see. And so finally, you no longer feel that confusion of indecisiveness. Should I do this or shouldn't I do this? Because love decides for you completely. But here we see that even when you allowed your heart to decide, these programs and these negative beliefs would come forth so secretly, trying to take your own belief systems and work against you negatively. And so your cosmic child is teaching you to be more discerning in this now. My voice will never say, never. You shouldn't do that. That's not me. My voice is subtle, it's compassionate, it's a very light-hearted recommendation to see how willing you are to flow with love freely. This would be fun, is how we speak. It's almost like a pre-thought, and if you're willing to entertain it, then it expands and you quantum leap. So here we're looking at two reversal technologies. First, we're releasing the one on the solar plexus. As now we can feel starlight flowing, moving upward within we. For here, your solar plexus as your willpower center has also aligned with love's will completely to follow your heart over the projections, perceptions, and expectations around the very reality that you see, to no longer give your power away to anything outside of thee. Here, the last blueprint of them versus me comes forward to be witnessed and set free. Here within your crystal heart structure, we see two pyramids forming a diamond. As these above and below pyramids merge within thee, the one that we created from above, now merging with the one from below. Only that at first they moved opposite directions, not in harmony. For here we now seal them together, where they don't even move really. Instead, they're just the elixir that creates the energy as your cosmic heart star, now whole, home, and complete. Where there's a spiral inside of it that forms the energy of plasma, radiant starlight directly. And then it just oozes out of your star in both directions, really. Here you'll feel some pumping in your third eye because that's where it's going to. And also in your womb or your belly. You may even feel the initiation to urinate, which is confirmation that you've received starlight, for that's how starlight manifests as within the vessel. And when you continuously sit in these energies, you'll realize that you don't even need to drink, and your vessel will produce starlight energy. And so simply just allow these energies to now flow through thee, recalibrating your entirety, knowing that as we do within ourselves, we're doing within Earth in her entirety, restoring her infinite abundance channels. And releasing, recalibrating, and removing all stories that prevented one from receiving infinitely, from giving infinitely, from being able to give and receive instantly at the same time, is what we see. Here your heart begins to pump as it enters that state of oneness, where you're giving upon yourself and receiving upon yourself, knowing that you're giving upon the entirety and receiving upon the entirety. Here we cross our arms around our vessel because we're harmonizing the masculine and feminine principles within us, as we see that there are some reversal technologies between these two spectrums of the vessel, of the Vesica Pisces within thee, merging them so that both halves contain the other. Hmm. This in itself is dissolving the them versus me paradigm, because you realize the them was just the reverse meeth, where it was always you, dearest me. There is no them. There's only the one me, the one cosmic child. And so when we give to our own child, we give to all children, you see. Here we could feel the very merging of the two omniverses now as the cosmic child comes into thee, taking over thy vessel in its entirety. As you just sit in this expansiveness, in this beauty of what you have just created within thee. And this is the restoration of infinite energy, infinite abundance, but also the conclusion of the very reversal Earth matrix that you got to see. Because everything was just this story of, well, the falling of energy, the reversal of light and sound, the reversal of time and space that caused duality. Because you see, without time and space, there would be no delay between the energy we give and receive. Without light and sound, there would be no delay between what creation creates and what comes to be. And so here, as they both merge, the identified self merges with the cosmic child to create a second star, second eye, the eye of the cosmic mother within thee. And so here, the cosmic mother eye and the cosmic father eye merge into the one eye as the council of one within thee, one with your entirety as the cosmic I am you came to be. Essentially, you just restored yourself into 0.1 oneness directly. Or just feel now how it feels like to sit in source presence as we call forth all of our source energies to release all firmaments across thee and across our entirety. I am source love, I am source light, I am source joy, I am source peace, I am source field, I am source power, and I am source presence. Here we place one on each hand and on the palms of your hands and the palms of your feet, on your third eye, on your wand and yoni, and directly on your heart. Okay, they want to be called out, so let's see where each one wants to go. Source power is the voice. Source field is the eye. Source peace is the wand and yoni. Source light is the left hand. Source joy is the right hand. Source love is the left foot, the left sole. And so source power wants to go to the right foot. And source field will now become, oh, it's now one with, they're the same. Okay. So you have source field, source peace, source light, source joy, source love, source power, forming source presence. And the moment I did that, they activated and they began to form a circle, meaning that they'll always move in and out of these different eyes that you now have activated within thee. But these eyes are that of protection, of love, of purity, so that you now move as source presence fully, where you don't have to do anything, but just be and allow, 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 allow. As we just opened each one of these eyes, and immediately all of the beautiful abundance channels that we opened as Amrita, starlight, and stardust, and plasma are just flowing out of thee. For now that you create from the cosmic void through infiniteness, you have an infinite capacity to give and receive. And so through these eyes, you can now shine it and bless the entirety. Where everywhere you walk, the soles of your feet will bless that land. Where everything that you touch, whether in form or through your quantum travels, will receive your light. Where everything that you see, speak, and perceive will receive your energies. And everything that you create will be love's ornate, perfect desires in absolute oneness with our entirety. For you are the cosmos itself, here in service to all of we. We thank you all for joining us in this now, for just being so pure in your stance of choosing to service the cosmos with we, to choosing to be in bliss, even though your whole programming was telling you another way to be. It truly takes a master of love to rise above. So we're so grateful for you. We love you so much, dearest Mies. There is not enough words to express the amount of love that you have gifted us to receive. But we honor you and we love you now into eternity. May all that transpire next continuously be the bliss, the Satchitananda that we have just achieved. Perfect peace, my loves. I love thee as me.